Old timer. Oh, you got me on mute. Come on, we'll take it off you.
Bro,
Switch.
I mean, technology don't. I'm still old for this. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I,
I'm glad.
okay, man. Sorry,
Getting
man.
some
It's
therapy.
just,
No, you're good, man. Take care of that
yeah,
body.
man. I'm on my way over there now. Bro, it's
Yeah.
crazy. As you get older, it gives out on you faster.
Bro, and out of nowhere too, probably. Just getting out of bed, you're like, oh crap, what the hell?
Bro, listen. So you can laugh that week. Okay, so I did. That was my first day off, I think, from school. So I rode bike one day. Every day I did something different. So I did 10-mile bike one day. I did a 3-mile run one day. I did a 10-mile bike the next day. Then I played pickleball 2 days, and then Saturday I took off, and then I played a tournament with my boys on Sunday, and
That's
we
right.
won. We played great. The next morning, I bent down to get the bowl for my dog, and my back gives out on me. Okay, I did all that, but bending down to get a stupid bowl, my back just went pop. I was like, no, and I was done. And it's
Bro,
been
that's
three
what I
weeks.
hear, man. I hear it's the silliest shit sometimes. I heard somebody sneeze one time and they pulled their lower back.
Oh,
I was like,
it's
oh
so
shit.
crazy.
That's
I
sick, man.
mean, something I did play something. It was
Bro, it's
horrible.
always something.
But
Yeah, man. But I'm glad to see you still moving, man. I'm glad that we gotta go
yeah,
play
man.
pickleball. By the way, you don't go out of town until the 26th, right?
I leave next Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, let's try to get into some pickleball before then. We'll play.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
would
play
like
this
that.
Sunday for sure. If you're up for getting up in the morning and going. Lulu went last time.
What time to what time do you normally play?
From like 7 till 9:30, more or less. We're the first ones there, and we'll take over like 2 3 courts, and then we just play. We'd rotate. And you get a
Yeah, I
lot of
got
games.
because I go to church at 10, but yeah, maybe I can go from 7 to like
Till 9.
8:45
Yeah, that's usually
or
what
9. But
Michael does too. Michael did that. He'll go till about 9 if he goes to the early services. If not, he'll stay a little longer. But yeah, man, come on through, brother. Be nice to have you.
yeah, no, it'd be cool.
Brother, let's do this real quick. Thanks for
Man,
jumping on, George. That
of
way,
course.
I appreciate it, brother. This is a lot of fun, man. This is a cool little project we're working on, and I got some cool people that's got good connections in some of these streaming services and stuff. So we've
Yeah,
already put together this pitch deck. So it's like kind of like a little PowerPoint presentation about what we want to do. So just so you know, real quick before we kickstart, what we have going on right now, we're really going to be focusing on the women's side because it's kind of the wave that's happening right
of
now on
course.
the collegiate and everything. And then obviously
Yeah,
we want to cover the men's side as well because obviously there's so much excitement there with everything going on. So we're going to cover all angles, but the initial pitch is going to be with the rise of flag football and how it's going. We're the Olympic level of the women's side. So what I want to do is we have already set some ideas on what we want to do with the actual series and who we're going to cover. But what I want to show them is people like yourself, influential people that have made this sport where it's at right now. So thankfully, I mean, I was part of it as well with you and Pat and Saeed and all these people have been a big part of it. I want to get them on tape, just asking them simple questions about their journey and their story really behind football. So the people that we're going to be speaking with, they have a good idea about the stories behind and why they should invest in this flag football docuseries. So I'll start, George, if you don't mind, really quick. You could just
yeah,
kind of introduce yourself. I know it's going to feel weird, but introduce
yeah.
yourself, who you are, what you've done as a coach in flag football, and also as a player. So just real quick, do that for me, and then I'm kind of going to cut that out.
Okay. All right. So my name is George Cascudo. I'm the USA men's head coach for the national team. This is my fifth year uh, with the program, starting the fifth year with the program. So it's been very successful so far. We've been fortunate enough to win every game. We've won, I think, like 3 gold medals, maybe 4. But prior to that, I've been playing flag football for the longest time, for like 25 years now. I was also the quarterback for the USA men's national team for 8 of those years that we won 4 gold and 1 silver medal during that time. Um, I'm also a high school girls head coach at Mast Academy in Key Biscayne. This is the second year we've done it for 2 years now, 2 year program. It's a work in progress with them, but something
Yeah.
new since the women's flag football has, blown up so much. I've been a part of it now, and it's been a great ride so far.
Yeah, thank you, George. And brother, it hasn't been a ride, man. I mean, you were a big part of how everything started, really, with the foundation of playing the first guy to really play with the USA team. And then we all kind of just followed through. We're like, wait a second, there's a team. And then, of course, obviously, we played with you and in the local team. So it was pretty easy to just, gel with you internationally with some other people. So, George, give me a quick background on how you got into flag. I know you used to play baseball. So, how did you end up playing flag football?
So I've been playing baseball all my life. Since I was 5 years old, I played baseball. Cuban parents, all they cared about was baseball during that time. So I was born and raised playing baseball. But I
Yeah.
also played I also played football and basketball, just like, in the streets and the park just for fun. But I played high school baseball and I played college baseball as well. After college, when I realized I wasn't gonna go pro or anything, my passion was always to still play football. And an aired out came to Miami, which is flag football I've never heard of before. It was 4-on-4, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I put a team with my friends from baseball, and we played and we won in the lower division. But my uncle was a football player all his life, and he had a Top Gun team, like a pro division team. And I saw them play, but I thought their quarterback wasn't that good. So I told him, "Hey, I want a quarterback for you guys." And that's how we built Sting. And once I graduated from college, I started doing flag football, and we were fortunately enough, we were very successful from the get go, and we started winning and we started traveling, and that's how I became a quarterback for flag football.
That's crazy, dude. Seriously, it was. I mean, definitely air it out was man, it's so many, there's been so many opportunities for flag football to blow up the way that it is right now. So when people ask me, Manny, did you foresee this? I didn't foresee the Olympics for sure. That was the biggest surprise for me for sure. But I did see it blowing up to at least a high school sport. I mean, honestly, I didn't even think about the collegiate side of it, but high school. Like I was like, man, this is such a fun sport. Like, why wouldn't it ever be a thing? And I did see many times where, like that, like, we would play against the pros. There was the time, and then they took it away because somebody got hurt. So NFL backed down. And then it got popular again with Let It Fly and then all these other tournaments, and it got big. And then AFFL came around, and that potentially came another opportunity. So there's been many chances for this thing to go from like a recreational or fun sport to where it's gotten. So I'm so happy to see that it's gotten further. So it's like it went from like just one or two steps to now it's like it's at 10, 15 steps ahead now. So it's really cool to see where it's at. So like I mean you've had such a unique perspective from it because you had it as a coach, as a player, and then now as a coach at the highest level. So I mean, I want to see like tell me a little bit about your experience. How did you transition from a player to being a coach? How did that happen?
Well, I mean, it's a funny story because as I started with USA football at an older age, I started at when I was 38, I believe. When I got selected in 2010. So I was older during that time. So by the ending of that time, they knew I was older, so they were thinking already of moving me towards coaching and become the coach of the team since I was in there for so long. But I always told them I wanted to be like the Brett Favre. I wanted to continue playing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe finish one more year in my terms. But they were like, okay, you can try out one more year, but if you don't make it, you can't coach the team. And I was like, that's fine. If I don't make it, I won't coach it, and it is what it is. Still, never. I always thought myself being a player, not a coach. So when I didn't make the Panama reached out to me asking me. First, they found out that I was cut, which I was shocked, and then they asked me if I would like to be their head coach for the men's team. So that was my first opportunity coaching men, in flag football when it came to that, and I took advantage of it, and I said yes. And again, I didn't know what to expect because like I really never coached those before, but I knew the concept and the ideas and the plans that I wanted because when I was a player, as you know, we really didn't have coaches, so we were like player coaches, when it came to the offensive defensive side of the ball. So I went with my game plan. I never had a playbook because it was all in my head. So now I had to draw up a playbook and ideas. And I went to Panama with that idea and that game plan, and Panama welcomed me with open arms, and they really bought in for to our system. And fortunately enough, when we went to Israel in 21, we ended up getting the bronze medal in third place, which is the highest place they've ever gotten. I think they were
Yeah.
seventh place once in the men's, and we got third place, and we got the
Yeah.
bronze medal. So that was a huge uh, uh, positive moment for them and for myself, being feeling that I could do this. I can coach, and still be a part of it, and my system works, as a player and even as a coach.
Yeah, that had to be such a big achievement. It is a big achievement. I mean, bringing a team from such a low ranking to finishing third at the World Games is pretty amazing, honestly, George. It's really incredible. Dude, who did you guys play in that bronze medal game? Senor,
Sorry, bro. I'm driving in a bad area, but I should be getting better
you're good.
service
You're good.
now.
I got you down. Anyways, I'll ask you again. So, I forgot what I was
Where do
honestly
we
want
leave
to
off?
ask. I don't remember. It went away
Um,
because I was talking, then I was like, George?
were
I
you
lost it.
asking a question? Did you get the ending of the Panama part?
I did, yeah, I did get up. Oh, there you go. That's what it was. I was trying to tell you, yeah, you did finish with the Panama. I was trying to tell you that was a huge accomplishment. I mean, for to bring a team from such a low ranking to playing in the bronze medal, you know, game, it's pretty damn good, man. That's a win for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Panama had great athletes and a lot of talent. They just didn't know the game
Yeah,
of 5-on-5 as much as they know like their 9-on-9 game. So
yeah.
it was very fortunate we were able to help them be successful when it came to that.
Yeah, that was really awesome. And now when you changed over to USA as a coach, how did that change? Did that make any difference on how you felt? But being a coach at Panama, now you're coaching the USA team where you had previously been a player. Was there any similar feeling or more pressure when you're wearing the US logo now instead of the Panama?
Well, it wasn't as pressure. So the funny thing is, yeah, right after Israel and our championships, like a couple of months later, there was a vacancy open for the head coach position in USA. So they asked me to apply, and I did, and I got the spot. So I was excited to come back home to the US and be the coach there, and I felt comfortable and confident going in because I knew that we have the best talent in the world. So if that worked in Panama, I knew it was going to work in the U.S. My only concern when it came to that was, as you know, in U.S. there's no men coaches when we played. We do everything our own. So I didn't know how they were going to welcome me and how much they would listen to my ideas when they've been successful and they're the best of the best in their teams being successful. But they welcome me, and we worked hand in hand with my plays and their plays, and we try to work things together. But they accepted me, and we've been very successful ever since moving forward. So I'm super excited where it's been, and I'm super excited where it's moving forward.
Yeah, dude, I think you hit it right on the nose. When we started playing, there wasn't as much structure as there is now in all areas. Thankfully we've built a lot of it, through where we had to create the structure both with the players, but also, in the selection and all that's going on. But you made a good point, man. As we were playing, I mean, we didn't have a coach. We were the coaches. I mean, thankfully
Yeah,
we had the reps and the knowledge to be able to handle that stuff where we could both be the player and the coach within the field. Like thankfully we had the personnel, right? We had you on the offensive side, and then we had myself and some others on the defense that could both call the offense and defense as coaches, which is not the case in most teams. So the fact that we
yeah.
had that, it was a plus for us. So and naturally, when you went in, I'm sure it was pretty smooth because you already had been calling it when you were there as a player. So for you, they just out of respect through all the years and gold medals and success you've had, I'm sure that mentally when you get there, you're like, exactly like, damn, I don't know how they're gonna get it, but they were lucky to have you, and then they still are lucky to have you, as a coach to be able to do the play calls and handle the pressure. So
Yeah, but
awesome.
my concern with that was, like you said, I was there, and I called the plays before, but I was the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now these quarterbacks are used to calling their own plays because they've never had coaches before when they played. So that's why I wasn't sure how welcoming a quarterback would feel changing a little bit of their concept of game plan. But
Yeah.
it worked and it's still working, and we have good teams and good athletes when it comes to that.
Yeah. So one of the things that I know I'm extremely proud of our team is the culture that we have. Because we all know this, George, but obviously for the people that are not familiar with flag football or just in sports in general, really, that how important, yeah, it's like you could have the plays, you could have the answers to the test, but if you don't have the character, you don't have the camaraderie, like you don't have this good culture, it doesn't matter. So it's like, what are some things that you did or developed while you were there to build such a good culture, both as a player and as a coach? Like, what were some things that you felt that was there already as a player that when you came as a coach was, okay, I got to make sure that stays here, and now I got to start focusing on some other areas to build such a good culture as we have?
Well, yeah, I mean, first thing, we have so much talent when it comes to the U.S. that you could build maybe two or three teams
Yeah, I agree.
from all the great athletes we have, you know. But the first thing you have to watch is like the character. When we talk about USA football, you talk about the brand, and you got to make sure you're representing your country and the team with class act when it comes to that. So we need to make sure we get the right people with the right character that's going to buy into the system that we want to install. And then the chemistry when it comes to the offense, the defense, and it's just the planning and strategizing for it. So, I mean, the IQ of the game is extremely important, when it comes to flag football, and
Yeah,
see how they mesh with each other. So that's why we have these training camps and all these trials and training camps to see when we put them together in practices to see how well either DBs gel together or quarterbacks and receivers when it comes to that, and to see how their character is when if a team's losing or winning, and you see how they handle it themselves. So there's a lot of things that go to it, but like I said, the talent is so top notch when it comes to the U.S. It's very difficult just to break that down, to the 12 players that we are. But we're very fortunate that we have that chance. But and we just got to pick the right people that fit the system.
yeah, no, you guys have done a really good job, and man, that new team is it's pretty deadly. I don't foresee them losing any games, even though I know there was a couple close ones last year, but everything this year has been really great. So it looks like there's some good stuff happening in this in Germany. I'm excited to see them play. I'm excited to
I
see
hope
Pat
so.
play too and see what he's doing over there in China. So I'm happy to see everybody play. It's an exciting time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
George,
yeah.
so as
Pat's a
as a
great
coach and
coach.
as a player, when you wear that, oh my God, he's awesome. I just got off the phone with him not too long ago, so we had a good chat. So I'm excited to see what he's done, man. He's dedicated so much out there. That's another thing. Can you
Yeah.
can you tell people what really how much sacrifice it takes to, I mean, not only be on the Olympic team now, it's an amazing team to be on the national team, but now the selection of the Olympic team, there's so much sacrifice that there has to be made by others. Can you kind of go into that a little bit on how much sacrifice? I mean, the traveling, being away from your family, everything that you could, see as a potential sacrifice. Can you speak on that a little bit?
I mean, yeah, like you said, we go to training camp now probably 4 or 5 times a month now, and we go to 4 days during that time. And then when we go to our world championship, we sometimes go even to 10 days. So there's a lot of time that you have to miss not only from work but from your family time, especially when you have young kids and moving forward. But they know the passion that we have for the game, and it's a dream come true that the sport is going to be an Olympic sport now, but even not even just not being an Olympic sport, but just like saying going to Germany and representing your country in Germany, wearing the three letters across your chest, that's another blessing for itself. So I'm just very fortunate and blessed that we have the opportunity to do that.
Brother, it's unimaginable. I definitely didn't foresee it going to the Olympics. So the fact that we're even saying it, man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah,
It's super exciting, man. I know you're excited as hell because you're addicted to it just like I am.
no, definitely. I'm super excited. We're going August to Germany, and I can't wait for that.
I know, dude. Oh my God. It's freaking exciting, dude. George, so brother, you've been a champion both player as a player and as a coach. I see you as one of the best, if not probably the best quarterback to ever play the game. So I'll give you respects on that. Obviously, you know that. I don't even have to say it. What would be some advice that you could give to the current generation that is leading the way now, but also the next generation going forward as far as just overall, advice?
I would always say stay hungry, always be willing to learn, and never settle. Practice, always practice, be active playing in tournaments, playing games, because you're going to get better not only in practice but in game situations. Because when you do trust me, when we mess up plays, we remember them when it comes to a game. Things that you do wrong, and those are things that you remember and you move and you get better from. But also competing against other people. But be willing to know that you don't know everything, and willing to add to whatever the talents you have. Watch other people play, watch other things. Like as me as a quarterback or as a coach, I get to see different plays, and if I see something, oh, you know what, I like that, I'm going to take that from that team, I'm going to add it to to our playbook, to our ideas. Because you always have to stay ahead of the game. Because if you stay stagnant with the same thing over and over again, people are going to know what you're going to do, and it's not going to work for that long period of time. So always be ready to adjust and learn and change your game, but always stay active and work on your craft.
Yeah, agree, man. There's been many times that I've learned from the person that I least thought I was going to learn. Like, there's so many times that that's happened to me. I remember there was one time we were in Roswell and I had just met Mario. I don't know if you remember Mario from Texas, Mario that used to play for
Unfortunately, yes.
what was the team called that they played Most Hated,
Heat,
right? I think it was
Heat. Well, they were.
Yeah,
I
I think
think.
they were called Heat. Yeah, when they
Yeah,
first started. And I remember he
they
had
beat
told
us the
me,
first year they played there. The first game,
that's
they beat
right.
us
That's right. That's
in the
right. They
double
did.
elimination. We had to and double dip everyone to go to the championship after that, which wasn't fun.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
So I remember
great guy.
there was one time that I had gone after that that he had told me something and I remember just being like, "Damn, that's a good point." And I remember that literally the next game I did exactly what he advised me to do, and I just look back and I just be like I literally pointed at him and he just smiles like, "Dude, you could always learn from anybody, man." So it's like you always got to stay
100%.
ahead because there's so many things, man. There's people always watching you, especially when you're at the high level. People are always watching you, so there's so much pressure
Yeah,
on you.
definitely.
Yeah, yeah, brother. Get the way I see it. All right, so brother, that's it, man. That's really all, George. I appreciate you jumping on. I know you got your therapy session right now at 11:40, so I don't want to hold you up.
No, you're
Brother, thank
good,
you
man.
so much, man. I appreciate you jumping on and doing this for me, man. I'm gonna take a lot of
No,
these
thank you,
clips
Manny.
and use it. Yeah, brother. Thank you so
Of
much.
course.
We'll be in
Whenever
touch.
you want to do it again, we could definitely do it.
Thank you, but for sure, I'm gonna have you involved in the actual docu-series coming up. I'm gonna feature
Yeah,
specific people and teams, including like South Florida Lead, Texas Fury. Those are some of the teams that
yeah.
we want to have on there. So for sure, I'm gonna hit you up, brother.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, George. Have a good
All
one,
right.
brother. Good luck with
All
your
right, you
therapy.
too.
Later,
Thank
bud.
you. Bye.